Hi everyone, my name is Mohammed Sufyan. I'm a SQL Server DBA. In this quick video, we will see that how easily we can deploy a database to a Windows Azure SQL database. As you can see that I have a SQL Server database on my SQL Server Azure database platform and a SQL Server on my virtual machine, which is on the same cloud. Couple of prerequisites are that we should have a firewall rule opened from the SQL Server Azure cloud to our on-premises SQL Server Management Studio or the machine from where you are using the SQL Server Management Studio. You should have at least the database size plus 10% of free space to create a backpack file. If you're doing this from the SQL Server Azure virtual machine, it should have that space. Or if you're doing it from the on-premises SQL Server instance, then you should have the same space on your on-premises SQL Server machine. So let's see how we can do that about. Let's right click on the database, which is on my SQL Server Azure database. Go to the task, click the deploy database to Windows Azure SQL database. It will pop up the wizard for migration to further deployment. Just click next. We'll ask you to connect to the target where you want to deploy it. Just click connect. Connect to the instance. You can keep the database name or you can leave as it is if you want to have the same name as it is on your SQL Server shared cloud. Now as you can see that it is asking for a temporary file. So this is the file which I was talking about, that you should have that space. So it will create this particular backpack file. So backpack file basically script out all the objects and the data from your source, and it will use to deploy it onto the target. So let's click next and finish. So it will start extracting the schema, and then it will start a schema from the database. So you can see the file will start getting generated as it starts extracting it. So let's see whether the file is started creating. Yes. So you can see that this is the name of the file and the backpack file which has started getting created. So as my database is quite small, so and the backpack file will also be very small. Now once the extraction is complete, it will create the database onto the target. So as you can see that it has created the database onto the target. So let's refresh it. Now you can see the database has been there, and you can see that it started creating the object in the database. So as you refresh it, you can see that okay, no problem, we can ignore that. You can see that it started creating the table. As we can move on, so we can see the status here where we are right now. So everything has been done. So now what it is doing is just importing the package schema and the data into the database. So once these two steps are done, we are done with the deployment of the database. It takes quite some time depending upon the size of the database you have, because the importing takes much longer than just creating the objects. So if you can see that all the tables has been created, and everything has been done, the operation completed successfully, and that's it. Thanks for watching.